Okay, welcome back. You took the quiz and now you have your results. And you might be wondering, what does my stress or my bloating or bathroom schedule have to do with getting pregnant? Let me break it down because this right here is my absolute favorite topic. After working with hundreds of women, we've identified 3 top root causes that block fertility over and over again. It's chronic stress, gut imbalances, and nutrient deficiencies, especially minerals. But for many women, it goes even deeper. So immune system overload, inflammation, and detox issues also show up. And here's the part that nobody's putting together. Every single one of those imbalances ties back to a core system that I have called the Feminine Fertility Axis. Your fertility doesn't live in a hormone silo. It lives in a relationship between your brain, your gut, and your womb. This axis controls everything from ovulation to implantation to whether your womb even feels safe to carry a pregnancy. So if this is your first time hearing about that connection, I want you to get ready because once you understand this, everything starts to make so much sense. So I call this the feminine fertility axis. Think of it as the brain, gut, womb connection. But here's what you need to know. Science has known for years there's a powerful link between our gut and our brain. That's not revolutionary. But what male-dominated science has consistently ignored is that for womb-bearing bodies, that axis doesn't stop at the gut. It extends down into the womb. And your womb? She's not some passive organ waiting for sperm to just show up. She's active, she's responsive, and she's very communicative. She's tuned into your environment, your emotions, your gut, and your nervous system. And I want to say this too because I didn't always know this. I know in my 20s I told you that my doctor told me I wouldn't be able to get pregnant. Actually, multiple doctors told me this, but I mean, you all probably get this, but you can imagine being young and I hadn't met my husband yet. And I had this incredible fear that I was going to let down or lose the love of my life because I wouldn't be able to give them a baby. We've all heard of couples whose fertility challenges were either a major hurdle or something they actually couldn't grow past. But the more my doctor told me it wasn't going to happen for me, I ended up burying that dream of being a mom. And like so many of the women that I work with now, I was definitely bossed up. I was doing my thing. I worked in 14 countries all across Africa with grassroots women, and I was at the UN, the African Union, the World Bank, and I enjoyed myself. I traveled, I built a career, but let me be clear, I was burned out. Now, could I articulate this at the time? Absolutely not. I just quietly changed jobs and burned out again and again. Until I left the country and finally just decided to study holistic medicine in India, Egypt, Italy, and Tunisia. Now I support women who are just like I was. They're smart, they're driven, they're deeply intuitive, but they're disconnected from what their body is really trying to say. I want to switch it up for a minute because let's just hit the facts because this isn't woo-woo and this is biology. So first up, let's talk about stress. Most women deny being stressed or are like, yeah, but what else can I do? I want to say, boo-boo, you are missing the point. I see some women and it takes them months, if not a year, to realize that this part of it is not optional. Stress hormones like cortisol can literally shut down ovulation. Your brain says, we're not safe, and your body says, cool, all right, no baby then right now. How does this happen? When your body starts pumping cortisol, your body steals the material it needs to make more cortisol. What does your body need to make cortisol? Well, it needs cholesterol. What else is made from cholesterol? Well, your sex hormones are. Usually, it's progesterone we're stealing from. So stress and hormonal imbalances go together hand in hand. And if you have hormonal imbalances, stress is absolutely part of the problem. You're quite literally telling on yourself when you say, I have hormonal imbalances. Unfortunately, this level of stress is not usually just a self-care bath and a glass of wine kind of problem. We again need to account for your particular stress pattern and how your body uses minerals, and so we can replenish your minerals. Now let's talk about the gut. If your gut is inflamed, imbalanced, or sluggish, you're not digesting nutrients. All of my iron deficiency sisters, that's a gut problem. Low energy, low mood, poor sleep, all of this starts in the gut. But the gut also helps us synthesize and clear out all of the hormones, especially estrogen. So my fibroid, endo, PCOS girlies, this is you. Gut issues. You're walking around with low-grade inflammation and hormone confusion. And even if you're thinking, but I don't feel like I have gut issues, I want you to check this. Your gut is the highest concentration of endocrine hormone-producing cells in your body. More than 60% of your hormones, including estrogen, are produced there. So if your gut is even slightly off, your fertility is affected. Scientists are now finding that in 80% of cases of unexplained infertility, there was massive gut dysbiosis. So it's not really unexplained, right? Unexplained infertility is actually a super lazy diagnosis. But there is an answer, and your gut and minerals make up the lion's share of that answer. If you add in chronic anxiety or burnout, now we're running a system that is on fumes. Not because you're fragile and not because your body is broken, but because it's trying to protect you. Now, this is really where the brain-gut-womb axis really comes into play. Your brain, your gut, and your womb are in constant communication via your vagus nerve and your microbiome. They talk in microbes, neurotransmitters, and signals throughout your body. And intuitively, you already know that they're connected without being a microbiologist. If you've ever taken antibiotics or know someone who has, what's their next worry? A yeast infection. Why? Because your gut and your vaginal microbiota are literally talking to each other. When you disrupt one, the other reacts. And that same communication loop, that's how we heal your fertility. We rebalance the gut, we recalibrate the nervous system, and we restore the vaginal microbiome. Does that sound wild? Maybe. But I've literally helped hundreds of women shift into fertile bodies using this exact approach. Like my client Brianna, who had regular cycles, ate clean, and was told she just needed to relax. But after running a gut test, we found both candida and mold in her gut that was completely overlooked. Like many women who have lost a baby, she didn't know that microbiome imbalances are a leading cause of preterm labor. In 6 months, she had healed her gut and rebalanced her minerals, and 2 months later, she was pregnant. Let me keep it really real with you. I don't want you to get caught up in the fertility industry that will sell you a million things labeled fertility. Fertility teas, fertility supplements, XYZ. I want you to know that fertility is really about your optimal health. It's not about throwing random supplements at a wall and hoping that this cycle is the one. And it's not about forcing your body to do something before it's ready, which is exactly what IVF is. This is about restoring your rhythm. Your brain, your gut, and your womb, they're always talking to each other. And when they're out of sync, fertility doesn't flow. But when you bring them back in harmony and your nervous system calms down and your gut is no longer inflamed, when your minerals are balanced and your body feels safe again, that's when your body opens. That's when babies happen. Naturally, powerfully, and on your timeline. If you're feeling that flicker of, wait, maybe my body really can do this, you're right. You just need the full picture. So make sure you've already taken the Is My Body Baby Ready quiz and take the next step to book the fertility clarity call to walk you through your quiz results and find out what's your exact next step. Because healing starts with clarity. And for every woman I've worked with whose story ended with a baby, It started with this fertility clarity call. And in the next video, I want to show you what your OB has missed. This video is called What Your Blood Work Missed, the test that shows what's really blocking your fertility. And I'm going to walk you through what standard labs miss and the exact test that finally gave women real answers and real results. So I'll see you there.